Today's video is on doTERRA's pure business practices and pure love for humanity. That was a decision that was at the heart of doTERRA when it began 12 years ago. The decision was to never sacrifice standards for success. When the doTERRA founders went out to source oils 12 years ago, they were keenly aware that the essential oil industry is fraught with corruption. Middlemen and brokers are at the heart of the issue, where they frequently don't treat farmers fairly. That usually occurs with not paying them on time or providing fair pay. Then when they receive the oil, many times the middlemen and brokers add certain things to oils to make more money, and they sell them to buyers who many times, unbeknownst to them, are not aware that the oils have been contaminated or adulterated for profits on the middleman's side. To solve this problem, doTERRA created something called co-impact sourcing. So it's the complete opposite of what is occurring a lot in the essential oil industry, which is kind of it's kind of an easier way to do business, but it does not help the most. And that easy way to do business is to just buy a bunch of farmland up, plant crops, harvest and distill those oils. But again, that doesn't help the most, right? So the focus is always on the farmer and their families in those countries. So doTERRA works with small farmers all over the world, much of which is in developing countries, and works side by side with them to get the most amazing oils in the world. Even teaches them certain farming techniques. They have all the resources at their fingertips. So what's really neat about the paying them fairly piece is this, like, the farmers say that they're completely shocked when they first start working with doTERRA, because they harvest their plants and then they bring them to be weighed at the certain area that doTERRA has that, and they weigh their product, and then doTERRA will send them money instantaneously. That floors small farmers, because they were so used to struggling to put food on their table or sending their children to school because of the poor pay and the untimely pay, and that's not occurring with doTERRA. So what's happening is that there are farmers all over the world that only want to work with doTERRA, creating a really cool situation where 99% of our oils are exclusive to doTERRA, meaning there are no other oil companies getting their raw material and their essential oils from these farmers. They love working with doTERRA. So what are the numbers related to that? How many people have been helped through this? 300,892 jobs have been created through these sourcing efforts. 1,652,525 lives have been impacted. So that's farmers, the harvesters, the distillers, and their families. So just absolutely incredible. Let's go a step further to see the heart of doTERRA. So let's talk about pure love of humanity. That brings the discussion of the Healing Hands Foundation, which began 10 years ago. Over $30 million has been donated to the Healing Hands Foundation since its inception. So members like myself can donate $1 when we order, or there's other ways that we can donate money. And every single dollar goes to these projects. The administrative costs actually don't come out of the money that's donated. So the philanthropic work that has been completed over the last 10 years is completely heartwarming. Here are a few examples that have occurred using the Healing Hands monies in areas where we source the oils. So for example, in Somalia, they built the Sanag Specialty Hospital in Somaliland, where we source frankincense. Before this hospital in this region, there was no place for people to go for care. They would have to get in their car and travel hundreds of miles on not the typical roads that we're used to in the United States, and many individuals did not make it during the journey. In Haiti, some of my favorite stories are where we source vetiver, and this community, children were unable to go to school, partly because they didn't have an adequate school, but they were spending their days going down a mountain to get clean water for their family that actually many times still made them sick. But they spent about 6 hours a day retrieving water, which meant they couldn't go to school. And through the Healing Hands money, doTERRA has built a pipeline and water, like a well. And so when you watch the videos of individuals turning that spigot on for the first time, I'm surprised I'm not crying. Healing Hands also has quite a few partners. Here's just 3, there's many more. One, and one of my favorites, is OUR, Operation Underground Railroad. And that is an organization that is fighting human trafficking worldwide. There's also the Rafa House, which is kind of connected to OUR in the fact that once these individuals are rescued, the Rafa House is an aftercare facility for those children that were rescued, and to heal their hearts and minds from those awful experiences. Days for Girls is another partner, and that entity helps to supply feminine hygiene products to young women. There are lots of other examples of when there are national and worldwide disasters where doTERRA will come in and they deliver, many times wellness advocates like myself, but they will also deliver emergency kits to those areas filled with toothpaste and blankets and things like that. There's wellness advocates also can find organizations that their heart is just led to, and they can submit proposals, and they then the Healing Hands can partner with those projects and even match donations. So that's really cool, the changes that we can make through this amazing foundation. So doTERRA has a mission to significantly impact poverty worldwide. The main focus is on anti-human trafficking, clean water and sanitation, disaster relief, empowering women, global health, self-reliance, and supporting children. So doTERRA is becoming known as a humanitarian company first that produces the purest oils in the world.